in your shower is your biggest enemy. That is the
Oh,
biggest thing you fight in your shower.
all right. Well, here we go again. Another week of this Renovation Situation podcast where we pull back the layers of this complex remodeling industry. So grab a beverage of choice and let's get to it. Today, Todd, I am excited today. I have Jim and Kimberly from HydroShield today. We are really excited. But instead of me rambling on and on, we would love it for you guys to kind of just introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about you, and how did you become HydroShield of the Northwest?
Well, we're Jim and Kim Barado, and we own a company called HydroShield Northwest. It is a protective coatings company for the construction industry. And my background is at 18 years old, I went out, started framing houses, became a general contractor. So I've been in the construction industry pretty much my whole life. So I went from building luxury homes to protecting luxury homes. And we've got such innovative products and innovative services for the surfaces of today, and understand the surfaces that I started with tile and laminates and occasionally a natural stone surface in the luxury upper end homes, to now working with them on a regular basis in all aspects of home remodeling and home construction. We protect everything from glass shower enclosures to natural stones to grouts to even some of these high performance quartz countertops and now porcelain countertops. So what HydroShield is we have learned how to protect these surfaces with these high performing coatings that either become molecularly attached to the surface or mechanically attached. So we've learned to take these surfaces that are difficult and hard to clean, make them easy to clean, and keep them looking new longer. That's the short, quick story of HydroShield. And as somebody who's been in the construction industry and seen surfaces go to the solid surfaces and the heavy shower enclosures, this industry really couldn't have existed prior to these surfaces going in. So technically, HydroShield's really been at the forefront and the beginning of the slab solid surface industry and the heavy glass enclosure industry. And we've sat in this industry for us personally 25 years, HydroShield 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
we're not new to this industry. We might be new to people learning about us, but we're certainly are the leaders in this industry. We are exhibitors at the International Builders Show, which trades off between Las Vegas and Orlando. We have been nominated for one of the top green products in this industry 2 years in a row. So HydroShield is really on the forefront of innovation and a process and a surface that, once again, leads this industry. So pretty much that's the long and short of it. And, there's where we have seen the need for this industry, where prior to this, there really wasn't a need for any type of protection. Mm-hmm. And we really quickly kind of just use this as an example. This is one of your higher end purchases, just like your car is your higher end purchases. And the first thing you do to this is you put a case on it, and you put a screen cover on it, and you protect it. That's what HydroShield is for your home. That's what HydroShield is for your home. It's that peace of mind that not only this surface is not only easier to clean, and you don't need the chemicals, no soft scrubs, no Comets. All you need are soap and water and alcohol-based cleaners to keep these surfaces looking new. Doesn't require any harsh scrubbing pads. So we've really kind of taken the industry and taken the chemicals that people are exposed to when they clean and help eliminate that also. So HydroShield's really a twofold company where we can make your surface easier to clean and last longer and reduce the cleaners that you need to use on it. So really, in a nutshell, that's HydroShield's mission statement, and that's what we've been providing across the country as a franchise for now 13 years, but individually with licensing agreements predating that, it's again 24 years. So
that's fantastic.
We're definitely 75 locations across the country. So we're pretty large.
75
in volume and scale. 75.
Wow. And is that mostly Northwest, or are you spread throughout the country?
No, spread throughout the United States. We have numerous locations in Florida. Probably 8 locations in Florida?
Yeah, you can get HydroShield wherever you live in Florida.
Wow.
So okay. Jim and I are the national trainers for HydroShield. So we've taken our
4 years.
4 years of experience, and we've become the trainers for HydroShield and the ongoing technical support for HydroShield. So we teach all the new HydroShield technicians how to apply our product and maintain it.
I have so many questions because this is Joe's had the pleasure of working with you two before. I however have not. So for me this is new, and I certainly don't want to go any other direction here. I'm about 45 minutes northwest of Chicago. But we have let's say a similar product, but I don't want to say similar product because I don't know what your product is yet. And that's actually my first question is, what is it? Are you spraying this? Is it an actual film that gets like wrapped? What's the actual product? And is it like a one multi-use product, or is it kind of case specific in terms of, we'll use this for your tile, we'll use this for your counters, we'll use this for your glass? Or is it all one product across the board?
No. So we have our flagship product, which it became popular on shower glass. You can think of it as it becomes like a non-stick surface on your shower glass. So our flagship product is a liquid that we apply. Mm-hmm. It's one coat. We can apply that same liquid on granite countertops because granite countertops have like a glass glazing on them. We can apply them to porcelain because porcelain has a glass glaze on it. We can apply it to quartz countertops because that has properties that we can bond our glass product to. And then we also have penetrating sealers for natural stone and grout.
Oh.
So we have a few different products, but our flagship product, which is the extremely revolutionary product, is what we bond to glass and granite and quartz and porcelain.
Okay.
And there's nothing else like it.
And when she uses the word bond, this is that molecular connection. So we interface with the SiO2 molecule on these surfaces, and understand HydroShield is more used on closed pore surfaces or not extremely porous surfaces. Ceramic versus porcelain. Mm-hmm. Ceramic has a 18%
porosity
surface absorption, where porcelain is anywhere from 12 to 7%. We can reduce those to absolute zero. But what it does is it removes the oxygen molecule that surrounds the silica molecule, and it bonds the 6-chain coating right to that. That molecular connection is unbreakable. That is something, and it happens within minutes. So there's no dry time. On glass, it happens very quickly. On quartz and granites, which are a little more dirtier of a SiO2, it takes a little longer. Mm-hmm. But that's what makes HydroShield revolutionary. That's why it performs so well and lasts so long, because it actually becomes part of that surface.
Okay.
Now, on marbles and sedimentary stones, which fall into your calciums, not your igneous, which are your granites, those don't have that SiO2 property. So we'll use a high-performing fluorocarbon now in a water hybrid mixture, which, again, we used to do these with solvents. Now we're getting better. Now we do them with high performing hybrid water solvents. So we're able now to take those and stack them within that surface. And those, like Kim are saying, are multiple layers depending on the porosity. And those really aren't that revolutionary. What makes it revolutionary as an impregnator is the quality of the products. And understand, we don't build our products to sell our products. So first off, there's no resale value in our products other than build them for our network. So we can put all of our technology and all of the money in the product, not the packaging. So for us, there's where we really see an industry of the carbon footprint that we're leaving or that we creating these products. We're offsetting that with now getting rid of the cleaners that have phosphates in them and ammonias in them and limes in them and caustic acids in them. So we look at how we produce our products equally as important as not only the application and our applicator safety, but certainly the consumer safety and the environmental impact that it leaves. Most people aren't familiar with forever chemicals, but now we're learning about PFASs. They're very common and they're in a lot of things, and people want stuff to work and they don't want to question it. But when it comes to, ethics, morality, providing, once again, being the leaders, we look at that and we've eliminated those out of our products. So once again, being leaders follows VOC compliances, certainly health and safety compliances. And that's why we've been at least recognized on that level at the International Builder Show for that type of initiative, because it's easier to buy chemicals than it is to create your own chemicals. And we talk about being an American-made company. All of our precursors come from American companies, and we kind of support that U.S. thing. Where they get their precursors, we don't know. We just rely on what they tell
and
us.
So that's frightening.
So again, it just kind of shows you where HydroShield's trying to fit in this industry, lead this industry, and with Joe's help, be introduced to the customer prior to it being needed to be done, meaning being talked about in the construction aspect of it, not, oh, now that you spent 50 grand, probably would be a good idea to protect that investment.
Right.
So what we're seeing with guys like Joe and other companies that, once again, want to give that customer the best end product with the best experience with that product, with warranties that back that up in writing. So Joe, we're nice people and we're great people. We provide a really unique service, but we also provide a warranty with that, which no other company is doing. And the fact that we've been able to manage to, for 23 years, never have to replace anything, not be able to fix a problem that had arose, really kind of puts us in a unique position to be able to work with guys like Joe who don't question or, are you sure this is going to work? And, how long you been doing? So
yeah.
It's again, it really makes it easy for us to be more relevant in the market when people talk about us at the point of when we're talking about using natural stones or using these surfaces. Well, hey, it makes sense to protect them. And we've got a great company that's been doing that for decades. And we have decades. And it should be an easy choice for that customer to make, especially when they trust you to do the beautiful work that you do. So
love it.
You brought up the customer, the homeowner. And when we think of like protecting surfaces, somebody who doesn't have the knowledge and hasn't met HydroShield before, doesn't even know it exists. We're thinking of protection surfaces. We just think of like, oh, well, it just needs to seal it once and forget it, right? So what's like the biggest misconception that you see that homeowners and even contractors like myself, that I didn't even know HydroShield existed before that? So what do you think is like the most biggest misconception that we have out there about our granite, quartz, tile, and glass surfaces?
Well, lately, I think the biggest misconception would be with quartz countertops because they're so popular now, and how they're sold is these are non-porous, they're bulletproof. I mean, you see it on TV shows all the time. We're putting quartz countertops in, they're bulletproof. Well, if you've seen a quartz countertop that's been in use for a year, you know that they are not bulletproof and that they can actually stain quite easily, especially some of these textured, honed quartz. Although they're not porous, so maybe oil wouldn't soak deep down into them, the surface still marks very, very easily. So HydroShield's able to bond to the surface, make it super easy to clean. So that's one of the biggest misconceptions that we see lately.
Wow. Oh, that's a big one, because I have to tell you, everybody thinks that we can just buy that material and not worry about it.
True.
Well, here's what understand. We're one of the few companies that goes in and sees these things being used. Okay. The fabricators, if you're not calling them, they don't care. Their no news is good news. We're seeing the turmerics and the coumarins and the heavy spices that are in
the red wine bottle.
Yeah. And that gets down into the surface and then gets mixed with water, and these white countertops are yellow and orange from all those beautiful spices. Well, once again, the fabricators aren't seeing these things. So they're basing all of their stuff on is what comes back. And when we go and have talk with fabricators about providing this type of protection, which the companies that make them don't say they're stain proof, don't say if you get a mark on there that won't come off, we'll come out and remove it for you. Their hands are there now is just a structural warranty on quartz. And there's really never been a stain warranty. It just says stain resistant.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we see is people take soft scrubs, Comets, Barkeepers, and scrub that and wreck their countertops. Because not all quartz are the same, just like not all marbles are the same, like not all granites are the same. So instead of them really qualifying the customer and seeing what their needs are as far as, do you cook? Do you have kids? You know, can you manage what happens to this countertop? Most fabricators just, once again, it's about the sell. So we're the ones that come in and say, we didn't pick your surface, but we can make you have a better experience with it. And when we build that shield, which our name is HydroShield, we build that shield onto that surface. That is what is protecting the surface. So once we treat it, we tell our customers, if you can't get that mark off with soap and water, we'll come out and remove it for you. So once again, as somebody that leads this industry with a coating that nobody else will put a warranty on, you would think that it would be an easier sell, but they have to admit there's a problem first. Okay. And once again, that would mean that it's not bulletproof and it's not this. When we run into customers daily that came from granite, went to quartz, and are going back to granites. I mean, these quartz,
wow,
you can't put anything over 208 degrees on it, or you void any warranty if it cracks. If you take soft scrubs or comps, depending on the brand, you void the structural warranty. If you clean it with acetone, you void the structural warranty. So some fabricators are actually voiding the warranty prior to it even going in. So once again, It's just an industry. And one more big misnomer is, once a piece of glass is treated, you never have to clean it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, come on, people. Come on.
But I just paid all this. I just paid to get it nice and sealed. And, you know, in some of these glass companies, the wording that they use to describe what they're sealing with, they make it sound like it's maintenance free, right? Yes. And that you don't have to clean it,
right?
Yeah,
carefree,
easy clean
coating, or something like that.
HydroShield, really,
yeah. And then so the homeowners think, oh well, I'm going to pay this a little extra money and then I don't ever have to clean it ever again. Like, that's
Yep.
not the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and
That's
we're
a
really
huge
good about
misnomer.
educating our customers, and we hand them a written explanation of how to maintain it. We explain to them, although this is easy to clean, it's not self-cleaning. So,
It certainly does reduce the amount of cleaning,
Right.
and it does minimize it,
Sure.
but can't eliminate
So,
it. And also, we have built our own aftercare product line that's really 3 products. A very gentle alcohol-based multi-purpose cleaner that's on the Global Harmony Systems approved green worldwide cleaners. We have a Clean and Preserve, which is a food grade stone cleaner and reconditioner. So it has a little bit of protection back into it. So when you clean with it, you're putting protection back on. Those are for your sedimentary stones that we can't molecularly bond to. So understand that's for that technology. And then we have a concentrated cleaner for shower and larger areas that has a organic active bacterial and viral inhibitor in it. So we give now we don't give, but we also leave behind everything to take care of every surface in your home so they can get rid of all of their other cleaners that do cause damage, like your toilet bowl cleaner that you're going to use in your shower mistakenly on your marble and wonder what happened to your finish.
Right.
So we really help the customers, once again, understand these pH cleaners, these alkaline cleaners, and if you use one or the other on a certain, you're not going to damage that. So we really have built an amazing, easy to use system for our customers with amazing support. So, and what we do too is we will tell the customers that
So we had mentioned heat previously as far as quartz resistance to heat. And does your product also offer an increased resistance to heat as well, or no?
well, it's just not damaged by heat.
Not damaged by heat. Okay.
An open flame is one thing, but it's 1200 degrees. The product is stable to 1200 degrees.
Got it. Okay.
So, and
I just want to make
it
sure I
is
understood
UV
that.
stable.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a UV stable product, meaning we put it on the outside of buildings and glass railings that get bombarded with UV all day. We still can easily give a 10-year life expectancy on an exterior coating.
Okay.
So
That's fantastic.
Hey guys, jumping in here real quick. If you're a remodeler or service business owner who's still doing your own bookkeeping at 9 p.m., I've been there. That's exactly why I started Plumb Financial, to help business owners like you take back their evenings and actually feel confident in their numbers. We handle the books so you can focus on building the business you love. Learn more at plumbfinancial.com, and let's make bookkeeping one less thing on your to-do list. Yeah, wow. Did you hear that? 10-year warranty. That's awesome. It's not going to turn yellow or anything like that with the UV light.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Wow. Okay.
So we talked a little bit about homeowners and the misconception. What about contractors, remodelers, people like us? What are we doing wrong about coatings during installs? What are there any mistakes that we're doing that we shouldn't be doing that is making your job harder down the road?
Just subs not finishing their work, and I don't see that with you, Joe. So I mean, we see it with the production builders. Okay, I mean, once again,
let's just put it out there. I did not pay Jim for all this nice work.
Sure.
We don't work. Yeah, and we don't work for everybody for that exact reason.
And I think one mistake that some builders will make is they will think that they're doing a favor by, let's say, treating the grout or treating the granite countertops or whatever themselves with what we like to call complementary sealant. And, it's like, don't bother unless you're going to use an amazing product and it's going to last a long time and you're going to take the time to do it properly. It's better to just call us. We will take all day long if we need to protect it properly, rather than, you doing just a a quick not using enough product because you want to give the homeowner like some sealed grout.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, just leave it to us.
Okay. So as far as what about, and I'm almost asking these questions as a consumer. I mean, I'm a remodeling contractor, but since I don't know your product, I'm almost looking at it through that window of just a potential consumer. So things like tile, let's say a shower floor, for instance, bathroom floor, for instance, if you were to seal that entire HydroShield, that entire floor, what about things like slipping or things like discoloration in terms of not so much, I know we covered warranties in terms of any sort of oxidization or anything like that, but what about like a sheen difference? Like, let's say I had a nice matte porcelain tile and went over that. Is that going to provide any sort of sheen after that? Am I going to potentially slip on that? Things like that.
Yeah. So for instance, on floor tile, we typically do not apply it to floor tile.
Okay.
Unless there's a lot of texture, because it does make it smooth and easy to clean. So we will do the grout, we'll protect the grout, and we'll do shower walls because you're not going to be standing on shower walls.
Right.
So it's great for shower walls, like porcelain tile on a shower wall, makes it nice and smooth, easy to keep clean. But no, we're not going to do the tile on the floor and have someone slip on it.
Got it.
Now, we do, if they're 2-inch and smaller tiles, because there's enough grout in there, we certainly have done those and had no problem. But like Kim said, it's not something that, I mean, it's a rare case that we will offer that. And just for the liability.
I was going to say, most times these days, people are using porcelain tile anyway, which isn't going to stain, at least not to my knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you're just doing the grout,
stain, but it certainly could get right. But in a shower, even though it's not going to stain per se, it can still get hard water buildup.
Oh, sure.
It can still be hard to clean.
Yeah.
Especially with these more matte finishes that are really popular right now. Our HydroShield makes those so much easier to clean inside a shower.
Okay. Very cool.
What I would like to add on the shower floors is, back a few years ago, it was very popular to put pebbles in the flower shore. Yeah, I know. But I mean, if you're not using epoxy grout and you just grout, like there's a lot of grout on a pebble floor. That would be a good example of when you guys would use your.
And we use our penetrating sealant for that. And on any kind of natural stone, like if you have a travertine bathroom floor, for instance, we can certainly protect that with our penetrating sealer.
Okay.
But that doesn't leave any kind of a slip on the surface of it. That's just penetrating.
It's a different sealer. Okay. Yeah.
Different technology.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
So, speaking of the technology, and we geeked out 10 minutes ago. Jim, you really went into the molecular and used a lot of big words that went really over my head. I was wondering if you could, which is very easy to do, if you could describe in like plain English, what's the difference between HydroShield and like what I'm going to get off the box store shelf?
Perfect. Obviously the technology, it's called covalent technology. So anybody can go look up covalent technology, which is the aligning of a molecular structure, where when you talk about paints and silicones and anything that has a dry time, those are all mechanical. So all you're doing is you're taking what surface variations, like glass has a mountain range. It looks like a mountain range under a microscope, which people think it's flat. But technically, all you're doing is you are cleaning the high valleys of that glass. You're really not getting into the peak. So what HydroShield does, once again, is it has to, because there's not as much to bond that 6-chain molecule to, it needs to interface to something that is anchored to that surface. So there is no dry time in this particular process, because when you open that molecular structure up and you bond that 6-chain non-stick coating to it, which is 6 molecules here, not just A, but I'm using this as just a reference, like the silica molecule. I'm using it as a reference. That right
Okay.
there, once again, is why HydroShield is so different. When Rain-X, any type of glass treatment that you spray on, it literally is just contact angle. That's all you're getting is a contact angle.
Those are
bond.
typically like a wax, where ours is bonding an actual molecule
Solid
and becoming part
Got
of
it.
the glass.
Yeah, solid carbon
Yeah.
molecules.
And the
It's
same thing with
science,
our
Todd.
granite sealants.
Science.
It
Yeah.
is science.
So typical granite sealants are silicone, wax, or oil.
Okay.
So you're just plugging up the pores with silicone, wax, or oil. That's why they're coming off onto your food, off onto your dish rag, off onto your sandwich or pizza that's sitting on the countertop.
Right.
Where ours actually becomes part of the granite and it's not coming off.
It's not leaching off.
Gotcha. Right.
It's you can put your food right on it and it's completely sanitary.
That's fantastic.
And another real interesting thing about our product is its reapplication. And we'll certainly get into restoration because we would love to talk about our ability to take surfaces that still have value and bring them back to life and give them a second chance. Where most people, and once again, not Joe, but we run behind a lot of companies where a $30,000 remodel is just not in their budget.
Sure.
But a $1,500 or $2,000 restoration that gets them right back to where that shower was at day one with our grout colorant. We have a grout coloring system where we can take old grout that's discolored from years of bleaches and acidic cleaners and everything in the cupboard to get rid of stains. We can take that grout and make them look brand new with these grout colorants. So we can color the grout any color that fits the format, bring that back to life, bring the surface of the tile back to life. We do hard water removal, bring the glass back to life, recalk, new sweeps. I mean, we've got a system that when restoration or when replacing doesn't make sense or isn't in the budget, we're a great alternative. And once again, as somebody who's been in the building industry for 40 years, I know what has value and I know what doesn't have value. And these 1/2 inch and 3/8 shower glass, they're going to keep their value as long as they can keep them visually appealing, because there's no metal and you can get your hardware changed out. If you're going to change hardware, go from maybe a oil rub bronze to maybe a rose gold now because you're swapping out your fixtures.
Mm-hmm.
So these glass enclosures, the ability to keep them for decades is viable. And when we do a retreatment, one of the most remarkable things is the product breaks itself back down to that original bond. It can't bond onto itself. So what removes the oxygen molecule on the first go around is now what removes the coating on the second go around. So it's never thicker than that 6-chain molecule. So
Wow.
even after 10 applications, it looks no different than the first application. So on glass, where you can, with Rain-X, every time you apply it, whatever didn't wipe off the first, or whatever didn't come off, now you got another coat. And then when you do it again, whatever didn't come off. So you could end up with 3 and 4 coats of Rain-X and it's smeary and smudgy. And then you have to take something pretty abrasive to get it off.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll never get it out of the pores of the glass. So.
Okay, so you were just talking about coatings and applications, multiple applications. So I guess that brings up a question. How long does your product last? How often do I need to call you to come back and reapply? How does that work?
Our product is no different than any other product that you maintain. The better you maintain it, the longer it's going to last. Everything comes with up for anywhere from a 3 to 5 years to a 15-year expectation of our products, depending on what we're putting it on and the condition of the surface. Obviously, brand new surfaces aren't an issue. And we have seen our coating go 15 years with proper care and maintenance. So the ability for the customer to maintain the surface is really the longevity to it. What we tell people is if you can go in and wipe the surface down with just the rag and the cleaner, let's say you do have hard water and once a week you'll go in there and get it all off, and you're not using the white scrubby to kind of, have to kind of do the work of, because you're waiting, let's say, a month to do your glass. You're coding a disservice when you're using it as a reason not to clean your glass. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a wax on your car.
Yeah.
If you're washing your car and you're drying it off with a cotton towel or a towel that's pretty abrasive, it's going to pull that coating off. So when we leave microfiber rags and our glass cleaner behind, we're helping that customer ensure that those items, once again, wrong cleaner, wrong rag, aren't going to deteriorate that coating quicker. And it's not that it deteriorates it. It's just the performance starts to dwindle.
Mm-hmm.
It never will leave the surface completely. But once you get through the first 3 atoms, the first 3 release sides of it, then it just becomes, the anchor points. And at that point would be the time to reach out. But that could be anywhere from 6, 7 years, 10 years. Once again, and we've had people that, within 6 months are calling and saying, I'm getting water spots and it's a maintenance issue. So again, we understand where our hurdles are in this industry. When we say we're going to give you a tool to be able to make it easier to clean, reduce the amount of cleanings, use less harsh chemicals, we don't know what that translates to the customer. Like, oh, I never have to clean it. Or
Right.
when you say it looks dirty, I went 3 months, it didn't look dirty.
Right. Right. All you can do is educate, right?
Yeah.
After that, it's,
Yeah.
But we recently went back out and retreated a 20-year-old granite countertop that we did.
No kidding.
And it looked amazing still.
Wow.
Yeah.
20 years later.
20 years later.
Yeah.
And really what we teach too, and what is really good about living in the areas that you work in, is we understand the water in all the areas that we work with. So on the plateau and Issaquah and Snoqualmie, they have really hard water. So we really set a very reasonable expectation. People that have city water, my brother has HydroShield on all of his glass. Dude, he says he cleans them like 4 times a year.
Wow.
Because they have city water that doesn't have the minerals, doesn't have the metals in it, fluorinated, chlorinated, I mean, all the things that, once again, don't put a ring around your toilet or, and also we help customers understand that bar soap in your shower is your biggest enemy. That is the biggest thing you fight in your shower, along with the hard water. I mean, between those two, that's a real bad combination.
Why is that? What's in the bar soap? What's the culprit in the bar soap? Just out of curiosity.
It's called binders.
Okay.
It's called, they're the binders that hold the soap together.
Okay.
So understand that there are water-soluble binders and then non-water-soluble binders. And people get really defensive with me when we talk about this because it's super personal.
Yeah.
I don't know why bar soap is this.
Because they are 100% with it. That's why.
So, and we have videos that will show our customers what happens is what holds that bar together. Once you put it on, you turn that binder loose. Okay, that's not part of the active cleaning agent of soap. It's what holds the soap together. So when it gets in the water and either dissolves or doesn't dissolve, and the higher grade soaps don't dissolve, which are more of the culprits than the water soluble ones. So when people say I use like $7 a bar soap, well, those are the bigger, those are the more parabens. Those are the ones that have the higher binder contents in them. And then what happens is it goes to the next surface and it sticks. It's even on a hydrophobic piece of glass, which is what HydroShield is, a hydrophobic coating. Even on a non-stick surface, it will stick. So what happens is, unless they're getting in there with their little white scrubby occasionally and knocking that off, they get bar soap buildup on their coating, which isn't the coating failing. It's just you failing to maintain the coating. And if you take a little white scrubby, it comes right off. But we'll take like razor blades and scrape it off walls, and you can see it when we do restoration. So by explaining that, what happens is once those binders go to the next surface, they stick. And unless you're going in there with a degreaser, you're not removing them. And they're just layering. And then what happens is your grout's not breathing. And then it starts to grow mold in it. And then you get mold everywhere else. It starts to grow into the caulking and just is a recipe for a disaster. And your hard water sticks to it. So you've got really several things going on that are making the situation far worse than just bad water or soap. So, and then what I tell our customers, because the wife is like, oh yeah, I use liquid. It's my husband. I said, well, have your husband go clean it for a few months and that'll cure him. So,
right. Nice. Love it.
And most people aren't aware of it, but it's our job to help educate them to have just a better experience all the way around.
Right. You had mentioned the 20-year granite that you went back and what's like the coolest, unique thing that you guys ever sealed?
We've done some pretty neat art glass and etched glass.
I can recall a job that we did. It was in a recording studio, and they had a stream running underneath the recording studio. This was in a neighborhood.
Wow.
And they had these big, probably like 18-inch by 18-inch glass tile that went over this stream. Really thick glass. So they had taken all the glass tile out and restored it. And then we HydroShielded the tiles underneath so that the water splashing wouldn't spot it up. That was probably the coolest because it was a recording studio that many famous musicians have been in. Yeah. So for me, being a huge music fan,
that
was my favorite.
Nice.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
He was a very high profile customer. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah. I mean,
Todd, next studio.
Right.
We're going to have a river running through it.
Right. And it's cool when we recently did some granite countertops on a yacht. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So on a yacht. Cool.
For that, it was like the location.
Did you tell them it was going to take about a month to do that, and you needed to spend some serious time on that?
Yeah. And we had to stay
about a month. Give or take. Yeah.
We've worked on Oprah's old house on Orcas Island. We have done celebrities. What's really nice now is the companies are coming to us because we're a proven system, and it's so nice to have done such hard work and kept my nose down and just did the best introduction of HydroShield we could to this industry, and it's reaping benefits that I didn't realize how far we have reached. We have design companies reaching out to us. We've partnered with Skyline Tile and Marble, which produce over 75,000 square feet of solid surfaces a month. I mean, we have just, once again, earned our way into this industry, and in no way, shape, or form have we been given any of what we've been given other than through our products and our service. And the fact that we do not advertise, every time that phone rings, we know it's coming from qualified sources.
That's great.
Because by not advertising, we don't have to weed out the work we don't get. All the calls that come in from are solid work. Hey, you did our neighbors and they were ranting. We saw the shower and people put us on their Facebook pages for their neighborhoods, and that's like running a commercial.
Yeah.
They'll show before and after, and then they'll comment, I'm a believer.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Amen to that. That's
There's
fantastic to not have to
Yeah.
not have to advertise and market.
Little
that.
marketing lesson right there.
Yeah, amen to that.
Well, Joe, your work speaks for itself, young man. So
I appreciate
He
that.
does all right.
You'll-
He does all
you
right.
have
I've
to
seen
do
his
much
work.
advertising.
I've seen his work. He does all right. He does all right. So out of curiosity,
Todd, you
just
got any other questions
well,
there, buddy?
yeah, a couple quicker ones, but just
Okay.
on my end, obviously, just because I'm in the Midwest and, like I said, about an hour outside of Chicago. Do you guys have any franchises that are near the Chicago area?
I know they do.
Okay.
I'll let
Yeah.
you answer really quick, but I know they do because a friend of mine was living here in Washington, moved back to Illinois, had a house built, and while they're waiting to get their house built, he called me to ask me all kinds of questions about what he should do with the house while it was getting built or whatever. But I told him to make sure that the tile guys don't put any sealer on anything, any glass or anything, and call HydroShield when you're all said and done, and they're going to come in. And he did. And he's right outside of Chicago there. And he did. He ended up calling HydroShield and had his whole house, the whole house. So all the surfaces got covered by HydroShield.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you
Fantastic.
get a commission check?
What's that?
Did you get a commission check?
No. I wish though. Yeah. Maybe
So
the HydroShield franchise, should send me a check out there.
Right.
At least some cleaner.
Yeah.
so
Right.
HydroShield
Yeah, right.
Midwest.
At least some cleaner.
HydroShield Midwest is outside of Chicago.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, they're in Indiana, but they're in Chicago all the time doing work.
Yeah, there's plenty of people from Indiana cross that state line pretty quickly to work downtown Chicago and surrounding areas. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Only other thing I had was just I honestly just appreciate both of you just for taking the time. It was a good education for me, and you guys are extremely knowledgeable about your product, which I can't tell you how much I appreciate. So yeah, thank you.
Our pleasure.
That's great.
And once again, thank you for the opportunity to introduce ourselves. And this is how we get where we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because the lady today, I asked how she heard about us, and obviously through one of our channel partners, and she goes, I don't know if I've never heard of you. And I said, well, I've never heard of you either, but we exist, don't we? And we've got great little wrapped vehicles, so people know exactly who's at the house, and we have a great.
They are very professional, very professional.
Oh, I can tell.
And what I love about Jim and Kimberly is they both they communicate with the homeowner really well. And that's what the interface with the homeowner is something that I cherish, right? As a general contractor, that's the experience that I'm trying to provide to the homeowner. And you guys are above and beyond in that respect. So I love it. I love working with you guys. Speaking of knowing about you, Jim, Kimberly, if they would like to find more information about you, how would people reach you?
They can reach our website, hydroshieldnorthwest.com. They can find us on Facebook, HydroShield Northwest, Instagram, HydroShield Northwest. They can certainly call us. They can text us.
Do you want to throw out the phone number?
Sure. 206-755-9739.
All right. And how about an email?
Seattle@hydroshield.com.
There you go, everybody. Jim, Kimberly, this was fantastic. Thank you for being such great guests. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
So thank you again.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
And Todd, thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon or evening.
You as well.
Bye. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
Oh my God, Todd, that was amazing. What a great guest Jim and Kimberly were from HydroShield. What's your first takeaway? Oh my gosh, there was so much information.
Yeah, that would be my first takeaway. That was, it took the words
Blown
right out of
away.
my mouth. That was just across the board, the both of them were very knowledgeable and very proud of their product, So
100%.
and that's why I mentioned them. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Just as they love that it's sustainable, it's green, you know, all the eco-friendly aspects, no VOCs, and then just what it provides. So you know you're protecting your investment. I just across the board, yeah, that was great. It was great.
Yeah, and that all of that transfers on the job site as well, with the customer and everything as well. As since I work directly with them, I can contest to that. And I think this is a great product out there for you guys. Spend so much money on a shower or your countertops. What spend a little bit more, and this isn't a lot. We're not talking about a lot of money either. I think it's very economical and worth the safety of protecting what you just spent a lot of money on. You just invested into your home. Let's take the next step and go above and beyond, and now let's protect it. I think it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Agreed.
They talked about a little bit about their warranty, and they talked about how they have a different product for different applications. So it's not just like one product that they slab on everything. No, they really want to know what is the surface and how are we going to protect it, and they have an answer for all of it. And then they even went into how they do restoration. Todd, that was cool. Can you believe that they have a system to change the grout color so you don't have to remodel your entire bathroom?
Yeah, love that.
Cool.
Love that.
Cool, right?
Because you get how much, I mean, how many times over the years that people will get that, just that discoloration naturally, you know, from whatever it is, years of abuse and
years of abuse of cleaning it with the wrong cleaner he was talking about. Yeah.
So just to be able to restore that properly and then seal it on top of that for years to come, like, hey, yeah, that's a great little niche they got going. That's great.
Yeah, I think it's great. HydroShield, HydroShield Northwest. If you're up by me, it's HydroShield Midwest. If you're over by Todd. And guys, I hope that was very informative for you. It was for us.
It was for me.
So cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Science.